In this video, I'll give you an update on the crypto market in terms of technical analysis. We look at some of the major altcoins. We'll have a look at Bitcoin as well. And I can give you an idea where I think the price is going to go. If you're enjoying these videos and these regular updates, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Most of the people watch my videos, they're not even subscribed. I don't know how you can do that because you don't want to miss these updates, especially when it comes to technical point of view, price predictions, etc. So let's get started. I'm going to show you first AVAX and Solana because they're two of the major coins that right now that were trending a lot. I actually alerted everybody a day or two ago on Twitter. So my Twitter account is below in the description. Make sure you're following there because it's easier for me to do updates on there than obviously make videos. But basically, AVAX, Solana, clearly in a downtrend. And how do we know that? There's lower highs and lower lows. So it's a clear downtrend established. Now, very likely this move that we saw off the lows, I mentioned this on Twitter as well, it looked corrective. What that means is anytime you correct up, you have to move back down. And the price is breaking down now. And also, we can check that because what you can do here is you can look at the retracements. And these were weak retracements. The initial one we had at around 0.5. And then we moved swiftly down from there. Now, where can price go? My general opinion on this, obviously, I think the ETF thing will drag out for a period of time, and I'll discuss the ETF just a minute when we get onto the Bitcoin chart. In terms of AVAX and Solana, I think it's a good probability we're going to drag down, up, and if you draw a trend line here, obviously we'll need to break out of this trend line for an uptrend to resume. But very likely, I think price is going to mess about for a while, and we may get a head fake and then a trap as well. But eventually then, accumulation, volume will build up. So these are volume candles building up, and then we'll get the true breakout happen. And price could push down a fair bit further from here because if you look at AVAX, it didn't move that strongly, but still, even just from beginning of December, we did a 2.5x basically. So decent price movement for such a big market cap coin. Let's have a look at Solana. Anytime off the highs, you always want to do the fib levels and you want to check. So this is what I was doing on Solana because I was invested before in Solana. But then when I saw price moving back up, is this the beginning of something? Here, how do you know? Mark the fibs off first, 0.5, 0.618. 0.618 is a very common one we're going to stop at. And that's exactly where we stopped. And we moved in 3 waves. Corrected. Perfect. Now, did things end here? And are we starting a new bull market run from here? It's always possible. But again, if you have a look, we did 3 waves. Very corrective. We're looking weak now moving down. Again, I don't think it's going to be a sudden crash, but that could happen too, which is why I'm on the sidelines. But we could drag. So price could drag here. Again, draw a trend line on the top. And we are probably going to stay under the trend line for a while because what do markets do? They trend for a while, then they trend downwards, then they consolidate. This is just normal market behavior. And you shouldn't mind this. This is what should happen. You shouldn't mind if it's barely been a week of downtrend, hardly anything. So sideways messing about, head fake, that's the trap. More than likely could happen. We may break these lows again. And Solana moved a lot more. So the move down could be a little bit sharper. We could re-explore that area which we hit on this kind of panic sell. And then volume comes in the market. You'll see divergence between 2 lows on the MACD and RSI, and then we move up. Let's discuss Bitcoin and let's discuss the ETF. Now, for me, it's very clear what's going on with this. I'm sure it's getting a little bit more obvious to you too. I discussed these 2 levels in my last video. That's where we broke off. So clearly, we were just doing a larger correction pattern, which is fine. And we had what looked like a strong move off. So you have to be careful with Bitcoin. Generally, nowadays, Bitcoin is very choppy in terms of when it moves up and down. And it does this probably because there's just so much leverage trading involved. So it's just constantly wiping people out. So don't go near leverage trading, especially in periods like this, until we're clear we're on a trend again. Then maybe you can open a long if you have a lot of experience. But generally, with crypto, just be very careful about leverage trading. The way they move the markets is they literally wipe out people for that. Now, same thing here. If we move back below this C level here, and we explore the lows, we might go to that 38,000 target, which is what I mentioned on a video kind of a couple of weeks back. We may move there. We'll have to see how it goes. So it looks like this was corrective upwards, but Bitcoin's very, I don't know what the word is, unpredictable. So we saw before that it could just whipsaw and slowly grind up whilst the altcoins take a bit of a dump. And then we just move on to another leg upwards. That can happen too. Or we can have a clear breakdown as well. Now, What about the ETF? What's going to happen with that? Well, for me, it's very simple. If we get sudden news, and it's positive, yeah, obviously we'll get a breakout, but just be careful. That could be a sell the top scenario. Bitcoin could just quickly rally to like something crazy, 55,000, 60,000 all-time highs, and then just sell off. So that could happen as well. Be careful about that. If we don't, my opinion is that we don't, and it drags out, it's actually good, because the whole move up, I explained in a previous video on Bitcoin, the whole move from like 25,000, it was based on anticipation. So more anticipation, the more they drag it out, the more Bitcoin and altcoins can keep trending upwards. We like that. But up until that time, so let's say it's March, which is around, I think, when the deadlines are. Let's say they dragged it out, just for argument's sake, and it has several weeks to go yet. Well, then the price can drag upwards, but every time we have a pullback, they will make some fake news in some random article like Matrix Post or something like that, where they say the ETF might get delayed or might not get approved or might get rejected. Every time they make the fake news, it will pull back. Every time they make bullish news, it will go up. So you just have to watch the market very carefully. Basically, the smart money institutions, they're controlling the market narrative more so than me or you or anybody else on Twitter or YouTube. They will control the narrative. That's why you have to be careful and watch out. We will get another leg upwards, probably another leg upwards even before the ETF is approved. That will be ideal, just based on anticipation. I don't care about the actual news. I just care about perception, anticipation. So I would say wait until the dust has settled and then make a move. Thanks for listening.